Hey guys, how you doing? Give it up for Charlie and Mel. Mel got through her CBP SI just last week. Charlie did an awesome job on the BP. Charlie was a really amazing transformation. Really aced that SI. It's just a good thing to hear. It's been a good year. You guys are really kicking butt. Our percentage is still 89.8% pass rate, so it's really good, and I'm very proud of all of you. Today's talk about the background investigation. So these are 4 points you guys might not be aware that you're looking at. First one is going to be your social sites. Clean it up, guys. Clean up that stuff. If I go to your social site, I should not be able to tell what side of the whether you're Republican or Democrat. It should be a neutral site, right? Nothing crazy like Biden flags or Trump flags going crazy and stuff like that. You have to be apolitical. CBP and BP are supposed to be apolitical. That should reflect also in your social site. No crazy stuff, any like sexism stuff or racism stuff or none of that kind of crap. Your sites should be clean. They don't want to be in the front of the social sites, in the front of the newspaper, in front of the news, right? Because you have some crazy belief that you plaster all over social media and you are part of them. That's embarrassing. So before they go through all that, they're going to check your background to make sure your social sites are clean. They're not going to just skim through it. They're going to scrub you. So make sure you get that. If you have any kind of nonsense like that, get it out of there now. Get rid of that stuff, okay? Number 2 is financial responsibility, like your school loans, right? If you guys are at least showing some payment progress, that's fine, Late payments, if you try to get it up to date on a payment plan, that's fine too, because they might ask you that in the poly, well, are you late behind? Are you late here? Are you late there? You can say yes, but I'm fixing this, I'm fixing that, as long as you're showing some kind of repair progress. Again, they're not looking for Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. They're looking for Mr. and Mrs. Flexibility, right? Mr. and Mrs. trying to do the best they can. And also, most important, Mr. and Mrs. honesty at the polygraph. That's one of the most important things they're looking at. Number 3 is undisclosed friendships. So what does that mean? You got friends who maybe have served some prison time, jail time, and stuff like that, where they can connect the dots back to you and you don't disclose that, that's an issue. Disclosing it's one thing. Saying, yeah, I got a close friend back in the day who did this dumb thing, he might come up in my background check. I'm an uncle from whatever, might did this or that, whatever. You don't carry their sins, okay? You don't do that, right? But what you do, though, is that you confess their sins in either the poly or the SF-86, right? You want them to know that, yes, these people are in your history, right? In your history, right? And tell them it's there, because they're not going to have you get struck for that, okay? As long as you disclose it. And also, too, guys, it comes up in the poly anyway. They're going to ask you this question, okay? So make sure you're ready for things like this, all right? Also, before we go on, please, if you need help with your SI, your structured interview, click the link below, okay? Get into my calendar and start learning with me. I can teach you how to get past the second most difficult part of the whole interview. And please, if you guys need help, click the link below. Join my hundreds and hundreds of clients who pass through no problem for the SI process. If you are serious about taking on the second most difficult part of this whole process, which is a structured interview, whether you're Border Patrol or CBP, click the link below and join so many others who've passed because I've helped them out to understand how the process works. Here's something I do in all my coaching. I tell everybody this. Everybody knows already, right? I use the number 10. That's an average, right? Because 10 people apply for the program, right? 10 people go up for the structured interview. 6 are going to fall off right from the start. 6 are already gone. I always tell my folks in my program, we're only competing with 4 people. The reason why the 6 here, they didn't get any training, right? They think it's a civilian interview. They didn't practice, or they practice with their friends. Your friends and family are not going to tell you if you sucked or not. I'm going to tell you that. Then we're going to rebuild and get you better, okay? So if you're serious about this career, make that little investment in me to go out and make that lifelong career for yourself, okay? Last thing here I want to tell you is workplace behavior. You don't want to have them look into your past and see some nonsense workplace behavior. People get fired sometimes. We all know that. Getting fired is part of it. That's neither here nor there. It depends on the reason, of course, right? But most of the time, firing happens because for a number of things, right? But you don't want to have any lewd type behavior like bad attitude, discrimination type behavior, and stuff like that, because they will find that. You guys, they don't skim in the BI, they scrub in the BI. They look at your background, okay? So those are the 4 points I want you guys to be aware of they're gonna do. But honestly, the biggest one I hear from my colleague who works in HR is that social sites out there, a lot of these candidates, to get it right, fall right down that political hole, going crazy for one candidate or another, going crazy for a politician or another, which is silly. They're just human beings, you know? But that's what people do. And so they get struck before they even get a chance to go through the process, and they're sitting there wonder why, wonder why I didn't get that interview, wonder why I didn't get the job. And then you go to the social sites with all these crazy flags and saying bad things about people and just being racist and sexist, whatever. It speaks for itself. They are going to remove the cancer before it grows, either CBP or BP. That's how it works, okay? That's how it works. But Mitchell, that's not legal, that's not cool. I got the First Amendment. Yeah, you do. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. But if they don't want that, okay, if you're going to the extreme with that stuff, according to them, they're not gonna have you. So you can have all the freedoms you want, all the freedom of expression you want, but it's not gonna be with CBP or BP. It's not gonna work. That's a professional organizational body. They're not gonna have a bunch of nonsense, okay? I hope that helps you guys out a lot, okay? Just look at your background, make sure it's okay? You guys have a good night. If you wanna get through the SI, click the link below. I'll help you out. Take care, bye-bye.